happy November.
Happy November.
I mean, we're like a couple weeks into November now, but happy November to you.
We are so close to the holiday.
I know. I can't wait to eat so much.
Guess what, though? Guess what?
Whoa.
Wait. Hold on.
Pausing.
Hold on.
Pausing.
Welcome to Open Dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Becca.
I'm Anna, just in case you forgot us.
So, we just had a birthday pass, and we have one coming up this weekend.
Oh, we do. Speaking of that birthday, I asked her what we were doing for her birthday, and she said, we're having a sleepover.
It's such a big deal.
And I was like, yes, I cannot wait. And I said, your friend's going to be there, right? You know which friend I'm talking about. Right? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, of course. We can't have a party without her.
Yeah.
So she was so excited.
Yeah, her bestie for the rusty.
Bestie for the rusty.
Yeah. Okay, so the first is our past birthday. We need to acknowledge.
Yes.
And then we have one coming up Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like in a day. I suppose it's a day from when this gets posted, but it's a few days from when we're recording. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, my boo-boo's birthday. His name is Desmond. He is my kitty because, yeah, I don't have human children. I have furry four-legged children. I have 2 cats, but Desmond is my senior boy. He is going to be 11 this year.
He's the cutest old man.
But so is hers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They share the same
year.
birthday month.
Same year, same month.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's fun. I told her that last year. I was like, you and Desmond are turning 10 this year. How do you feel about that? And she was like, that's cool.
That's cool.
I was like, get out of here with your preteen self. But yeah, so Desmond is going to be 11 this year. He is my little senior boy. He's special.
He is. He's really special.
He's a disaster. He's a mess. He's a medical problem. And he's too spicy for his own good. But I love him so dearly.
I do have to say, I'm like the only person that he has never bitten or scratched, and he tolerates me very well. He does. He really does. And he it's funny because last time I was here and we were just kind of hanging out, I was sitting on the couch and you were doing something. I think you were cooking or something. And he came over very slowly on the back of the couch. And he was just like, meow. And I was just like, you want to hang out? And he's like, meow. And he turns around and he just lounges next to me on the top of the couch. And I'm just like, yeah, he's my buddy.
I don't understand that. And he's never, well, that's a lie. He's broken skin once, but I think that's just because I deserved it.
Probably.
But he very much so has boundaries, and if you do not respect those boundaries, he lets you know. So he'll put his teeth on you, but he doesn't actually
bite down,
crunch down. Yeah. He's just like by the way, I'm not a fan of this. But he's
a very good communicator.
He is. He does communicate very well.
Yeah.
So he goes to the vet once a month for an arthritis injection. Because, he's older, so his little bones hurt. So to help him be a little more comfortable, he gets this injection every month. And he'll hang out there for the entire day. Right?
Yeah.
And the doctor there absolutely loves having him there. I don't know why he's such a menace, but she says that he'll just sit in his kennel all day and squeak. He'll either be sleeping.
I love his squeaks.
Or he'll squeak. He doesn't meow like a normal cat. Unless he's got a toy or something to show you. Mm-hmm. But if he just wants attention, he squeaks. He's like, beep, beep.
It's so cute.
It's the weirdest thing. I'm like, did you forget? Did you miss that lesson in cat school? What is happening?
I love it. It's another home to him, is what it sounds like.
It's gotten to be that point because he's at the doctor so much.
Yeah, he sounds comfortable.
Yeah, which is good.
If he's a little chatterbox and he's not crying, then I feel like he's comfortable.
Yeah, he does. He patty cakes now. His little blanket. He gets to take his own personal blanket, so he's extra cozy there. But he's not a fan of blood draws. You know, he has to have blood work run pretty often because he's on like his long-term steroids.
Yeah.
He gets a little spicy for that.
Yeah.
A little spicy.
A little spicy.
But that's okay. I would be a little spicy too if someone was just holding me down and was like, "I'm gonna steal your blood now." I'd be like, "I'm sorry, what?" I don't think so. Yeah. So I don't blame him, but yeah, he's a menace. So he's technically Robert's cat.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. So when he first got him 11 years ago, he was like this tiny, tiny little pocket-sized kitten that he got. Like, he was just like driving by a house near the school he used to go to, and there's a sign out that said "free kittens," and he unfortunately, like a couple months beforehand, had his other kitty pass in a pretty traumatic way.
Oh.
You know, before we knew a lot about signs and things to look out for, you know. So after that, he was kind of getting through that, and he saw this yard sign with a "free kittens" written on it. And he was like, well, maybe, because he said this sign had been there for a few weeks, and he was like, I don't know, like 2 weeks, and he's like, I don't know if they even have any, but the sign's still there, so I'm gonna go look and see.
Aww.
Right?
Yeah.
Desmond was the last kitten.
Oh my gosh, how perfect.
So it was meant to be with his little spicy self. So he was like little tiny and pocket sized, but his belly was this like doubled his size. Like, his stomach was so bloated from all the intestinal parasites he had that he was like double the size he should have been because of how swollen his belly was.
Oh my gosh.
So he got all that taken care of. He got his little cotton balls trimmed off because we don't need those. And now he just lives the best, most luxurious life he could possibly imagine.
He really does, though.
Yeah.
He's some bougie parents.
Yeah.
And he's a bougie cat. He really is. He's very specific. And to the point where it's not even his fault, like with even his food.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's on prescription food for his
That's
problems.
what I'm saying. It's not even his fault.
Yeah.
He gets that expensive quality.
He gets that fancy stuff.
Yes.
So he's kind of got like, so Grumpy Cat, you know. She became popular because she just had this like chronic I'm unamused face.
Yes.
When she was just being herself.
RBF face.
Desmond has that.
Yeah.
Except it's more like RAF, like resting aggressive face. Like, at any given time, he looks like he's just ready to rip you to shreds. He is the grumpiest kitty I have ever seen. Like, he looks mean. He looks mean. It's not like a cute thing.
It's
he just
just
looks
his
mean.
face.
I know. And I love his grumpy face.
Me too.
But there is one time
that
I wasn't home at the time. I've just been told this story. So Robert gets home with one of our friends, and Desmond is sitting on the apartment we lived in at the time had like a staircase up to the second floor where like everything else was. And Desmond was sitting on the staircase. And Robert comes in with our friend, and the friend was like, oh, look at him, like pointing at Desmond. And Robert was like, be careful, he bites. And the friend was like, yeah, he looks like he bites. Because he was just sitting there with like, just like, I will mess you up.
We both did the same thing.
Yeah, we did. But he's just, I love him. But he's a menace.
He is. He kind of reminds me of like an old man narwhal. My baby cat. Old man narwhal.
Oh, for sure. You know exactly what Narwhal's going to be when he gets older.
Absolutely. And he's very specific too about things. He's like,
he has his likes,
and it's so funny because like Anna and Narwhal's relationship was good until like I would say 3 years ago. When okay, so I have some like health issues, and sometimes it kind of lands me in bed. And this was the first time that Narwhal got like super aggressive with you was when you came over to visit me and I was in bed and he was like on top of me and she got like a foot away from the bed and he was like it was like growling and he was ready to attack. He was like, get away from my mom. She does not feel good.
He's used to protecting against them rambunctious gremlins you live with.
Yeah. And like after that, he was just like...
Yeah, we haven't... We're coming around. He's starting to want to sit on my lap again.
Yes.
But I tell him that he's a little too unpredictable right now and we need to work on our trust a little more.
Yeah.
Before we can move forward. But we're doing really tiny, small increments.
Yeah, and that was like last time you were over at my house, he came over and sat in between us, like right up against you, like up against your leg.
Yeah. He didn't give me an option.
And yeah, he's been doing that a lot lately. Like he's like trying to like amend the relationship.
Maybe he realizes that he went wrong.
And she said, I really want to pet the top of his head right now. And she started to like pet like really lightly, and I was like, don't do that. And she's like, why? And I'm like, you have to be aggressive. He only likes aggressive pets. And so she was like this, and I was like, yes, exactly.
Yeah, he did. When I first touched him, he was like, ah.
Yeah, he does not like light touches.
Oh God. So I was like, I felt like I was ripping his head off.
Yeah, he wants aggressive touches.
He's an aggressive lover.
He is. He really is. But I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's definitely going to be just like Desmond when he's an old man kitty.
For sure.
100%.
Yeah. So our other birthday this month.
Yes. So like Anna said, Desmond and my daughter share the same birthday year and birthday month. Her birthday is actually in a few days from this posting. Yeah, so she is turning 11 years old, and over the past year, I just want to say that Anna has really helped me through this new stage that we have slowly begun. Because I did not know that a 10-year-old could start acting like a teenager. Like, we're in the preteen stage.
Like, she skipped preteen. She's just a 15-year-old right now.
Yeah, it is mind-blowing. But, okay, let's go back to year one real quick, okay?
Year one, when she was still really cute. Now I understand what my grandpa means when he's like, where did my cute little granddaughter go? And I'm like, pfft. And I'm like, dang. Now I know what he means by that.
Yeah. Well, now she's just like, I think she's just gorgeous.
Well, yeah.
I think she's just gorgeous.
Absolutely.
And I'm terrified. I'm like, she's already acting like a teenager. And like her father and I talked about it, and he's just like, I might need to get some things to prevent these boys, you know.
Maybe she'll bat for the other team. We never know. She might. Can't get pregnant that way.
You know, that's really funny because like yesterday, her little brother was like, whoever does this first or last or whatever is gay. And she was just like, Mom, he said blah 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 gay. And I was just like, okay,
that's not a bad thing.
And she was just like, well,
I mean, maybe the way he used it, but
I was like, do you even know what gay means? I'm like, I know she knows what it means. We've
Mm-hmm.
had the conversation. Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, it means that boys like boys. And I was just like, it also means that girls like girls. And she's like, no, Mom, that's lesbians. And I'm like,
She schooled you. She was like, get your terminology right, Mom. Get it together.
I was like, listen, gay originally meant happy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It still does. That is still a definition of the word.
Right. But people use it to
at one point was used in
label,
a very derogatory manner. But right. I think the LGBTQA plus community has embraced that, which, I mean, kudos. Yeah.
So she was like, really? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, we've had this conversation. I told you it means happy, but it's also for boys and girls. But the terminology lesbian is new for females, liking females. She's like, oh. And I'm like, why are we having this conversation? You're 11.
It's really going to blow her mind when she learns about the entire spectrum. Like, her world as she knows it is going to implode.
I mean, honestly, like, no matter what your values or thoughts or feelings are about it, your kids are going to learn about these things because it's everywhere.
And now they have access to the internet.
Yeah.
Good old interwebs.
Ugh, and that's why these kids are, like, so grown up nowadays.
8-year-olds walking around with smartphones with full access to the internet.
Yeah. I hear you. So, anyways, year one, when she was, cute, she had like rolls on top of rolls, okay? She had kinkles on kinkles, chunky cheeks, beautiful, sweet little, just want to pinch her cheeks. And like, I remember Anna saying, I just want to eat her.
Yeah,
cute. She was just like, I just want to like eat her, which is like a really weird thing, but I totally get it.
100% cute aggression.
Her first birthday was Minnie Mouse themed. Okay. And honestly, like, I don't understand nowadays why parents throw big birthdays the first year. Because your kids are never going to remember that.
It's for you.
Yeah.
Not for the kid.
Yeah. I'm like, they're not going to remember that. Just like, get them a little smashed cake, do something small at home. You just spent thousands and thousands of dollars on diapers and wipes or formula or, pumping equipment, whatever it is.
Their gift should be the fact that you managed to keep them alive for a year. I mean, honestly, babies are hard.
Oh, gosh. They are. But, like, honestly, she was such a good baby.
She was.
Like, her and her brother, they were amazing babies. Now, toddlers and teenagers, they were a nightmare.
Oh, I loved that stage.
Yeah, you did.
Because I got to walk away from it at the end of the day.
Yeah. But they were the easiest babies. Like, they would sleep through the night. My daughter, she had, like, a natural time clock. Like, she would wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and go to sleep at 8 o'clock at night. So
without the help of the sun.
Right. It was awesome. It was awesome. So, her nursery theme was owls, and that wasn't in at that time.
Yeah.
But now you can look, and there's like owl nursery theme galore
everywhere.
Yeah. But it was like unique. It was cute. And so we did Minnie Mouse, and then after that, like, I don't remember what we did for her second birthday, but her third birthday we did like a skating party.
Where was I? I don't remember this. I probably had to work for her actual birthday party.
Maybe.
I probably had to work.
Maybe. But I mean, it was a long time to go too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, she's turning 11, and she just started over the last, I would say, like 4 months or so. We started doing sleepovers. So she spends the night at friends, or a friend comes and spends the night over at our house. And so we are doing our first slumber party for her birthday this year, and her birthday is so close to spooky time. She's had a couple of spooky themed birthday parties, and we're doing another one. And then
I am so excited.
yeah, I'm excited too.
I'm really excited for this.
Yeah. I'm excited because like I think I had my first slumber party on my 11th as well.
You're just evensies. You're twinsies.
Yeah, and like I remember we did like we watched a scary movie, which it was not scary. I think we watched Cujo or Tremors 2 years in a row. It was like, I want a scary movie, and both years it was not scary, but whatever.
No.
Yeah.
Remember when we watched Arachnophobia because that was the scary movie?
At the ranch?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It was not not a scary movie.
No, especially compared to what we like really watch.
Yeah, because we were like full into like actual horror movies by then.
For sure.
At like 13. I don't know why my parents let me do that, but
they were like, huh.
She's not actually killing people, so it's fine.
It's fine. So I don't know. Some kids are allowed to watch full-on horror movies at her age, but like we don't allow that because she is a weenie.
Yep.
She's just like her Aunt Anna.
Mm-hmm.
That and me and her father have agreed that like we're not gonna do that because she gets scared so easily, and she goes back and forth from my house and Dad's house every other weekend and stuff like that, and so we just want to make sure that she doesn't freak herself out or she doesn't like get scared in one place more than the other or something like that. So we're gonna do Beetlejuice 2.
Yes, the new one.
The new one. I haven't seen it.
I haven't either. I've been waiting because I knew we were gonna watch it that evening. So
it's so funny because there's gonna be a room full of girls and me and Auntie Anna are gonna be like in the party. We're gonna be in the slumber party.
For sure.
We'll see how that goes.
It's gonna be great.
Because like you have to think, these are 10 and 11-year-old girls that are all gonna be together. They're all gonna be different, and they're gonna be like, well, let's do this, and they all want to boss and be like, let's do this, and let's do this, and let's do this.
The birthday girl be the boss. She only has one birthday a year.
And then we'll be like, let's do this.
Actually, because I'm the adult, we're watching Beetlejuice, and y'all better sit down and enjoy.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put her mattress, and then my son has a bunk bed, and he's only one person, so we're gonna take the bottom. We're gonna take the bottom mattress, which is a full.
Himself. Yeah.
And we're just gonna like make a giant like bed on the living room floor.
Can we make a fort?
How are we gonna make a fort?
We just move the couches. I feel like I'm getting in trouble for suggesting this idea.
Yeah, because she's probably gonna see this. I know she's gonna be like, "Mom, can we please do what Auntie Anna said on the podcast?"
My child, if you see this, you know what to do.
Okay, so that's up in the air.
But we don't have to use couches. We can brainstorm.
You're in charge of that.
I can't wait.
And clean up too.
Woot.
Okay.
It's gonna be great. It's fine.
Okay, so something that we did, I think it was like my, what was it, 13th, 14th birthday party. We did the newspaper duct tape fashion show.
Yeah.
Do you remember what year that was?
I don't.
It had to have been 13th or 14th because that was before the second house fire, right?
Yes, because the living room was still closed off to the rest of the house, and it's not anymore.
Okay, so it had to have been my 13th or 14th. We had a bunch of newspaper and duct tape, and we all like help create each other's dresses
It was
out
great.
of newspaper and duct
Mhm.
tape. And then we did a little fashion show down the hallway and into the living room, and we were like,
Which was fantastic for her because that's all she ever did. Me, on the other hand, I was very much so a wild child that couldn't walk normally most days.
what do you mean all she ever did?
That's like that was you. Like you were like, yes, let's try on clothes. Like you remember all the times we would just like go through your closet and put on random things and then pose for the camera. Like your child is exactly like you in that. But then like your fashion show, you were like, yes, this is how we're doing. Like you were like a little tiny Gaga at that point.
Well, I did fashion shows when I was little.
Yeah. Okay. See.
I didn't do pageants. I just did fashion shows.
See. And I didn't know how to walk normally, let alone a catwalk.
Mm, 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 mm.
I still don't.
Mm.
I still wouldn't walk normally or properly.
You just walk like there's a stick up your bottom holding you upright.
I can't say I've ever become a scarecrow, so I don't know how that feels.
Okay. So anyways, I thought that would be fun for her and her friends.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait.
Yeah. So if
Can
you
we do
get
one
any
too?
like ad or like Reeser ads, like kind of
I don't get
newspaper
those.
things, you know, okay. Well, if you find newspaper somewhere,
I used to get them from my mom's work, but she don't work there anymore.
no. Okay, well, we'll have to figure that out. But anyways, that's going to be really fun. I'm really excited for her. This is going to be a new experience.
Yeah,
And
it's gonna be good.
I just have to say that it at times, like, I can for sure get overwhelmed with the attitude and the emotion because it's new and we're all like adjusting. She is adjusting emotionally. You know what I mean? But she is absolutely one of my favorite people in the world. Like, she was my first true love. Like, I love her so much. And I think she's going to turn out to be awesome. Like, she is awesome. But
Both
I
of
mean,
your
like,
kids
when
will.
yeah, they will. But, like, she was my first true love. And then Hunter came in. And he was my second. But I love them equally. So, like, I don't know. I'm just so happy that she made it to 11 because, like, I've always had this. It's like, let's celebrate. No, like, let's celebrate another year of your life. You know what I mean? Because, like, you have to think, like, of how the world is. It's a miracle to make it another year.
I mean,
It is.
I
To
feel
me,
like
that's how I feel about
life
it.
is really delicate, but it's also really resilient.
And children are resilient.
Yeah.
100%.
Like something very, very small can take you out of this world, but also your body can endure a lot. So like I kind of get what you're saying, but at the same time, like we live a pretty cush life.
Yeah.
You know. So
yeah. I just think that things can happen at any moment.
for sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I'm glad I'm here to see her grow, and her father is here to see her grow, and you are, and that she's still here to grow, and she can see me turn all white and old and you know. It's just awesome. I love her so much. So I'm excited to celebrate her. Yes.
I mean, this is getting really close to figuring out what we're doing for the other kid for his birthday because his is
6 months out.
Yeah, but we got to start thinking.
Yeah, I know. He's a little bit harder though.
Exactly, that's why we got to start thinking.
Like, my daughter is more predictable than he is.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, we're gonna have to really brainstorm on that. But you know, he's at an age too to where it's like, he's like, I like this, oh, no, I don't like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Which every kid does that, but, like, he's in the transitional age between 8 and 9 to where, like, dinosaurs and, like, those things aren't as cool anymore. And
Which
so
is
we're going into,
ridiculous.
like, older kid things.
Dinosaurs are always cool, but that's just my opinion.
It's
fine.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I just got to bring this up for a second.
Mm-hmm.
This is how much I love my daughter.
Okay. Tell me.
She has these activities. So she's in cheer, okay?
Oh, okay. I was like, where are we going with this?
Okay, so this cheer coach, I'm about to I'm controlling myself
She's very special.
because I don't want my daughter to get kicked out, and I want her to be able to do cheer next year if she wants to.
Mm-hmm.
And this cheer coach is just like pushing buttons. It feels like she's being a bully in a sense.
Yeah,
like I feel like
does.
she is like almost like pointing out my child, and like to the point where she got pulled out of a dancing competition. Like, I understand that like she wasn't perfect on like a move, like she wasn't like holding it strong or whatever, but she was perfect on everything else. So like I don't whatever but getting called out for things that she shouldn't be called out for. Last week she was out sick
With a doctor's note.
Doctor's note, and she's like, she's getting 3 demerits,
Which is a penalty.
which is a penalty if you know what demerit means. And
It was really aggressive towards our audience, and I don't feel like
okay,
they deserved that.
listen, I'm sorry, friends. I mean, like, listen,
don't know.
I was praying last night. I was like, Lord,
She
please
was on
help me be
fire
patient.
yesterday.
Lord, help me be patient. Help me be kind, because this woman is about to get it.
She's testing limits.
She's really testing. She's really testing. And my daughter's dad, too. Like, I was just like, we have to control ourselves so that if she wants to be in cheer next year, she can.
Yeah.
You know, because we don't want to ruin that for her. Because apparently it's our fault that she's already got demerits. So she said that I didn't let her know in a timely manner that she was not coming to practice, even though I had a doctor's note that I sent several days prior saying that she wouldn't be back to school until Monday, aka any other activities.
That's what that leads me to believe. Like, if you can't go to school, why would you be able to go to a physical activity?
Yeah, like, why does that have to state
Specific.
like
Some children have such busy schedules. Like, yours don't. I mean, yes, they do. But there's some kids that are in, like, multiple sports. They have school activities. They have school itself. And, like, there's a lot of kids like that. Like, do you really think the doctor cares enough or has enough time to
Absolutely
type out
not.
every individual activity that child participates in and says this child is exempt from all of them because they got the viral icks?
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that she needed to be on her antibiotic for so many days before she was not contagious any longer. And she was, oh my gosh, she's on a really tough antibiotic too.
Ew.
Like, it's strong. It's gross. Anyways, and this coach, she came at me. She's just like, she's gonna get 3 demerits for an unexcused absence. And I was like, okay. I resent the picture of the doctor's note, and I was just like, this date states Monday. And she was just like, yeah, but you sent this to me on Friday, and it's stating that she can go back to school on Monday, so that means it was just 1 day away. And I'm like, no. Like, she was saying, like, only 1 day, and then she can go back to school because there's a weekend in between. I'm like, no.
Yeah, she was saying that the weekend didn't count because they don't have school on the weekend.
Yeah. And
so that's why the date was returning to school Monday, because there's no school.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
And the doctor specifically said, and I said, she has sports activities, and she said, if they have any questions, they can call the number on the page. And I let the coach know. I said, if you have any questions about the virus she had, you can call the number on the page.
And then what'd she say?
She said, This woman, she was just like, well, you didn't let me know in a timely manner that she wasn't going to make it to practice, so that's what I'm going to go on.
Also,
So I just did not message her back. Like, I was furious. I was texting Dad, and I was like, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, I'm going to tell her off. I'm going to tell her off. I was like, don't you dare.
Don't do it. Keep it together for the child.
I was like, and he even told me, he's like, don't send me screenshots or I'm going to lose it. And I'm like, okay, I won't.
She also...
I didn't even give him the details. He was just like on fire about it too.
She also changes practice times.
And plans constantly.
Like with sometimes less than like even a 12-hour heads up.
Yeah, and like you're a 23-year-old with no kids. She doesn't understand.
I mean, that doesn't even... I don't have kids, and that wouldn't even work for me.
Like, we don't live and breathe for cheer. We have other responsibilities.
Pause for a moment. There's a bug crawling up my wall, and
What?
I'm not an entomologist.
Where
I
is
don't
that?
like bugs.
Where is it?
So I need to execute
Where?
this bug.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? What is that? Where is it?
I saw him crawling up the wall, and I was like, I don't want bugs in my house. I don't share my house with bugs. I share my house with tiny predators, so they remove the bugs for me.
Okay, so anyways, yeah, we were just pretty riled up about it, and I just let it go because I was like, I'm not gonna ruin this for her. Because she really, really enjoys it. It's so good for her. She's like making friendships and relationships, and she's expanding. You know what I mean? And so I want to keep that for her.
Yeah, for sure.
And so does Dad. So we are controlling ourselves.
For sure. So before we switch, because Becca has a secret topic today. But before we switch over to that,
okay,
it's kind of a sad but funny memory. It's sad for her.
Oh, for me?
For the child.
Oh gosh.
So this was many years ago. We took her to the zoo. Me and my partner. Mom wasn't involved.
No.
We took her to the zoo. She was trying to get a closer look at these animals. Now, it wasn't like an open tiger cage that she was trying to do. It was it was glass cages or glass what am I trying to say? Enclosures. There we go. They were glass enclosures, and then there was like a little walkway between the glass wall of the enclosure and the railing that she was trying to stick her head in so she could get a closer look. Well, we told her multiple times not to do that because her head would get stuck.
Yeah.
This child proceeds to stick her head in there, and she gets stuck. So we have to try to remove her head without breaking her head. And we did successfully, but my goodness, the tears that ensued afterwards.
Crocodile tears?
Crocodile tears. But I have the picture for some reason. You know, I did typical like internet thing, and instead of consoling the child, I took a picture of the child. So I have a picture of it, and I occasionally look back at this picture, and it's just so funny to me. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember that one time that she stuck her head in the railing at the zoo. That was funny.
Well, send it to me, and I'll send it to her dad, and we'll see if we're okay with you adding it in.
Oh, that's up to you, Mama. And Dad, of course. But
yeah.
that's up to you.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
I do whatever you want.
Yeah, that would be cute, though. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe you did that. Just like, hold on. I got to catch her in this moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a secret topic. Secret topic.
I love secret topics.
You're not even going to guess what this is about.
I know. I'm going to have to make my next secret topic, like, elusive AF because my first one was a little like on par for the season, but
This one is not themed for November. It's just kind of out there. Well, I guess in a way it could be. I don't know.
okay.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, the origin, the history of corn,
Of corn.
the produce,
Okay, I was like, so are we talking about the band
Like-
or
corn. Sorry.
like a Thanksgiving Day side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you believe that it started with human sacrifice and cannibalism?
Absolutely. Those ancient civilizations. How else are you going to get the gods on your side and have the rain come and be plentiful? Although, if I understand correctly, corn is rather drought tolerant, or at least the earlier strains of it were,
So,
maybe?
corn was actually made. The plant itself is not just genetically a being. It comes from it comes from a type of grass.
Oh, yes, I am familiar with that.
Okay. It was certain grass in Mexico. I didn't even I can't even pronounce it properly, so I was like, I'm not even gonna write that down. It's from Mexico. Okay, friends. Okay.
Okay.
An interesting thing about corn is that you have to replant it. You have to replant it. It doesn't just grow on its own.
No, it does not.
Back in 1200 BC, civilization is when they were farming corn. Okay? They figured out how to make it pop from the kernels, and they were like, and ate it, and they were like, oh, huh.
Wow.
They also made a sweet corn juice and drank it by grinding it.
Yeah, they still do. So
But this is how it starts. Okay. This is how they. So the Aztecs.
I am very familiar with their civilization. I did a lot of reports on various aspects of their life.
Do you know anything about their corn?
Kind of, sort of. With crop-wise, I primarily did more research on chocolate for all the Mesoamerican civilizations.
Okay.
Enlighten me.
Enlighten you.
Me.
Okay, so they consider corn to have the same lifespan as humans.
So, like, are we talking about if we plant a singular plant, it could live to be 80?
No.
Oh, okay.
They thought it was like their blood running through their veins.
The corn?
Yes.
How so?
Like so their thought was they were eating it and it was part of the earth. And when they died, they were giving it back to the earth.
Yeah, like a proper circle of life.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. The Aztecs were going extinct. And they started starving.
Yeah.
they started praying to the gods to move the mountain in the way of the corn. They believed their god,
Mm-hmm.
it was a new coming god,
Mm-hmm.
because they had several,
Okay.
turned into a small black ant and made its way to the other side of the mountain. After several days, the god made it back on their side of the mountain after finding a kernel of corn. When he returned, he handed over a grain of corn
Mm-hmm.
to be planted. Just one.
Okay.
This one grain of corn saved the Aztec from starving to death. It fed the entire village.
So, like, in the same sense that Jesus took, like, 10 loaves of bread and, like, 2 jugs of wine and fed an entire civilization, like, that way? Or because they planted it and reproduced it and they were able to...
Well, you can't reproduce it. You have to plant the seed.
But, yeah, but, like, if you plant one corn kernel and it grows
Yes.
a corn...
Yes.
And then you can harvest the corns,
Yes.
and now you suddenly have a whole bunch of seeds, and you plant all those seeds.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So at this point, they built statues to honor this new god.
Oh, absolutely. They just saved their entire society.
They would cut themselves to water the plants with their blood.
Mm-hmm.
They had so they had 4 gods in all when it came to this harvest.
Okay.
For each part of the harvest. Okay.
Like the growing season, harvest.
Yeah, like
Okay.
beginning, middle, end kind of thing. And then just the ant god.
Yeah. Okay.
So they, like I said, they blooded on it.
Mm-hmm.
But annually they would have a ceremony to just honor this, like, these 4 harvest gods.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense to me.
But every fall, they had a ceremony that only honored the ant god.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Because he is the one that brought the resources to them.
So during this time, all of the villagers would gather. All of the women and children would string up necklaces of popcorn. And everybody would wear their popcorn necklaces.
Isn't that what we do, like...
For, like, Christmas, around a Christmas tree?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really weird to me. Apparently, these people don't live with animals, because if I put popcorn on a Christmas tree, my cats would eat it off, like, immediately.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, this is when it gets a little dark.
I love darkness.
So they all gather around the corn god's statue, and they perform a ritual where the priest will call up a young girl.
Oh, yes. The sacrifice of a virgin.
They would chop off
Mm-hmm.
her head.
Yep.
Cover the statue with her blood.
Yes.
Then the priest would fillet her body and skin her. Then the priest would put her skin on like a skin suit.
Leatherface style. But it was
Remind
socially
you
acceptable.
Of Ed.
Eddie? Ooh, that was my chair that popped. It's okay. We're good. So they would do this for really all of their crops, like all of the different civilizations that existed in Mesoamerica during, like, around the similar time.
Yeah.
They all had different crops that they grew. Like, I'm sure there were many of them that were very, very similar. Like, they all probably grew corn and those kinds of things. But they would do the same thing with chocolate. Like, their cacao beans.
Mm-hmm.
They would do like human sacrifices. They'd also do like other animal sacrifices, but they all kind of played out in a similar way. They were like making sacrifices to the gods for like bountiful harvests and like those kinds of things. So that was definitely a pretty integral part of their society.
Yeah.
For sure. We are lucky enough to just walk to the grocery store or drive to the grocery store depending on where you live and purchase our corn
Yeah.
from like Walmart or Trader Joe's or wherever you buy your food. But they definitely they had to work for it. So I can understand why they would make sacrifices if they believed it would
They
produce
really,
more.
yeah. So, like, to them, this was a regular annual occurrence.
Yeah, like we do Halloween or Christmas. It's
Yeah.
just normal.
And it wasn't like a bad thing. It was like
It wasn't taboo.
honoring.
Yeah.
Honoring their god. So that's not the end of the ceremony.
Oh, I love it.
Another woman would be offered up as a sacrifice as well. The priest only cuts the skin off of her face to wear it as a mask.
Is she still alive when this happens?
No, she is.
Okay.
She's,
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Yeah,
dear
because she is also
God.
decapitated and blood is
Spilled
upon the.
the statue of the ant god.
Yes.
Okay.
The second woman is believed to have been offered as a sacrifice by her husband.
And at least in the ones that I looked into, like being a sacrifice was
It was an honor.
pretty much the highest honor you could possibly have in that society that you lived in.
Mm-hmm.
Like being able to be a sacrifice, like your family was honored. You were always like regarded as this just magnificent person who sacrificed themselves for the betterment of the people.
Right.
So that was just like such a significant action that you could take.
It was. And like veering off a little bit, one of my favorite what word am I trying to use?
I don't know. I don't really know where you're going with this, so I'm kind of lost.
I'm trying to find the right word. Okay, so one of my favorite, I guess I could say, things to research about older civilizations and cultures would be Vikings, because they had several different gods as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they had, I think it was every 7 years or maybe every 9 years. I don't remember. They offer up several sacrifices, and it was a huge honor. Yeah. And every clan had to have at least one.
Mm-hmm.
And it had to be someone within the faith.
Yes. Yeah, you couldn't just get some like rando that you met on the trail one day. Like
yeah. And then like they did the same kind of thing for their harvests and their like anything really. If they have something like really strong that they want to pray over, like a war or their harvest or new land, they will either offer up a human sacrifice or an animal sacrifice, but they do like a whole ritual, and it's so cool. So like this really caught my eye because I love that kind of stuff, because I love the ritual aspect of it, but just like the religious and cultural aspect, and just like how different it is from nowadays to how it used to be is it's like a whole nother world.
Yeah, like you're not gonna walk into your church and the priest or pastor's not gonna call up a small child in white linen and then cut their throat on the podium.
Yeah.
Like that is not how modern day society goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very different. But I think with that, the thought process behind the purpose of that has also changed.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like I said, we also don't have to worry about like where our next meal comes from. I mean, for
There
the
are
most part.
there are definitely places in the world that still do these things.
For sure, yeah.
But they are usually not welcoming to people.
I mean, I wouldn't be either.
They are, I don't remember what they're called.
There's a few tribes, I think,
I
in
know
South
there's-
America and in Africa.
Yeah, Africa, for
But-
sure.
Also, a lot of the people who try to contact these tribes are trying to, they're like,
They're trying to help.
what are they called? The people with the church that go out and preach the word of God.
Ambassadors?
No, it starts with an M. Missionaries. A lot of the groups that reach out to these tribes are missionaries. And these tribes, I mean, like, that would be the same thing. You have to think of it that way, as that's the same thing as somebody coming in that you've never met before.
Mhm.
They talk way differently than you. You can't even
Yeah.
really understand them. They barge into your homeland and they are like preaching about this almighty God to you, and it's like the most perfect being to ever exist. And in your little life that you live, you already have a God that you pray to. If you go down the religious path in the first place.
Right.
Like, you have your spirits or your land or whatever it is you believe in, you're already in those beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And your life is good. Like, you're happy. You don't want anything else. And then
Yeah.
suddenly these people that you've never met before, that you don't understand when they speak to you,
Mm-hmm.
come in and they're like, no,
You're doing everything wrong.
you're doing everything wrong. This is the God you should be praying to.
Yeah.
But, and don't get me wrong, like, people who do that kind of work also do good.
Yeah.
You know, they also provide housing and food and water and stuff, especially in times of disaster. But specifically in the instance when you're talking about people trying to reach out to these tribes who have zero interest in the modern world,
Yeah.
I find that to be really invasive and disrespectful.
Yeah, and that's probably how they view it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is like, this is their home, this is their space, this is their beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
They are, like you said, being invaded.
Yeah.
And you know, missionaries they don't have any ill will, but
No.
they're not stepping into their shoes.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but I thought it was an interesting topic.
Yeah.
And
Was
it
that
had
all-
something to do with corn.
Was that all you had for me?
That Thanksgiving corn.
So, what? Okay.
That's it. What?
I
Are you
don't know.
disappointed?
No, that was fantastic. I don't think that corn is a huge staple in my Thanksgiving dinner usually. Like, typically it's, you know, like the turkey, the stuffing, or the dressing, whichever you prefer. Depends on who's making it. The cranberry sauce, of course. Like mashed potatoes and gravy, the bread thing, the rolls.
The rolls? the bread
The
thing?
bread thing. Like green bean casserole. Green bean casserole
Ooh.
is like that. That is the vegetable you eat on Thanksgiving. You don't
Get
eat
it.
anything else.
Get
I think
it.
potatoes are a vegetable, I think, technically, but do they offer? I suppose they do offer nutrients.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what I'm trying to say is corn is not really a huge part, and I think that's just because of where we live.
Yeah,
in the
no,
world.
100%.
It's not as much of a part of our.
It just reminded me of the origin because Indians were producing corn, and it was new to the Europeans that came over.
Yeah.
And they were like, what is this sweet goodness?
It's deliciousness.
And, they shared their Thanksgiving. And corn was a big part of that.
I don't.
And their cornucopia.
I don't think that story went as pleasantly as you.
No, absolutely not. But
like, I'm just more, like,
I'm painting
murder and raising with that.
I'm painting the picture that
that they paint us in school when they misinform us on what actually really
yeah,
happened.
and you're like coloring the cornucopia and the Thanksgiving table with all the food and the pilgrims and the Indians around it.
I feel so cheated by our school system.
Absolutely.
Like, they taught us that everything that happened, especially in America,
let's just sweep it under the rug.
It's like, it's fine. Everything was so peaceful. This was all mutually agreed upon. Everybody's happy. No!
Absolutely not.
The white men came in and messed up everything.
Absolutely.
But they really did. Like, the Trail of Tears, I was taught in school that it was pretty well like a voluntary thing. Like,
no!
The settlers moved in and was like, okay, so we're going to take this land now. And they're like, you go for it. Like, that
no.
And they just got up and left.
Yeah, so
that was my history lesson on that as a high schooler.
What's insane is my mother, she went to college and
she did?
she has a psychology degree.
Oh, madre.
Yeah, she has a psychology degree, and she saved all of her books.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and yeah, I've got a bunch of mine sitting over there, too.
So I read through the Aztecs and all of that history, and I learned so much.
Yeah.
So much more than I did in high school, and I just enjoyed reading it.
Yeah, because you're actually learning something. Like
it's not sugar-coated for the most part.
Yes. I went from...
Why are high schoolers getting the show... Like, aren't you supposed to be getting us ready for, like...
Girl, don't get me started
Ooh,
on the public education system.
Malanta.
So,
no.
Like, going from...
Oh, God, I'm dying.
She's dying on that poor education. Are you okay, though? She survived. She's breathing.
I'm trying not to get... I'm so sorry.
How did you choke that severely?
It went down my windpipe.
Okay, so going from public schooling in a small town, which is automatically worse if you went to school in a small town. Like, they take any resemblance of education and they throw it out the window. So going from that to a private university education.
Woo.
So it's different. I say that because it's different than a public education, because with a public university, they still have like government guidelines that they have to abide by. But with a private university, they can teach whatever they want. They can say whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. So I don't know how public college goes versus private, because I didn't go to public school. But with my college, especially when it got to history, like, I took so much history and anthropology when I got to college, because I realized, like, holy cow, this is actually really interesting.
Yeah.
And I learned so much about, like, no, this was not a voluntary movement. Yes, these people came in and they purposely provided resources to these individuals that were contaminated
Mm-hmm.
with diseases. Like they did that on purpose. Like that's not something that we were taught. So
Mm-hmm.
being able to have a proper history lesson, for one, made me respect history way more than I ever imagined. And then also it gives you a better insight and a newfound respect for what these individuals went through.
Absolutely.
And it's just, I don't know, it was such an eye-opening experience to be able to have that kind of education. And
That's really cool.
I could also soapbox about free education, but I won't do that to us today.
Well, okay, this reminds me of, so I had a high school history teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and if I remember correctly,
Was this the same high school when we went together, or was it after you left?
it was after we left, after I left, and I was in
Was it
a high school class of 42.
Oh, okay, so it was the one that you had to travel a bit to. It wasn't the one with Dad.
It was the one with Dad.
Oh,
That's where I
oh,
went.
I thought. Sorry, I thought you meant the classroom had 42 kids in it, not the full
No, the
graduating
whole
class.
graduating class.
Yeah, so she went to an even smaller high school than I did.
Yeah, but that was my favorite history teacher ever.
Did they actually learn you a thing or two?
Absolutely.
Oh,
It was incredible. If
must
I
be
remember,
nice.
his name was Coach Hendricks, and he was a coach.
We
I
had
know.
one of those too.
But like he was like an old gentleman, so like he
Ours was
retired.
not old.
He retired the next year.
Okay.
So he was there my junior year, and he was my favorite. He did world history,
Ooh.
and he cracked me up because he was just like, "Okay, y'all, turn to page 132," and then the book would just stay on that page the whole entire class time, the entire time, because he would just go off.
He was just teaching you. He's not regurgitating information.
He was just go off. He was just like, I mean, we talked about Henry Ford for 3 days.
Oh yeah, we never learned about that.
For 3 days. Because there was like a tiny paragraph about him in the book, and he went on and on for 3 days.
You think he was a fan of Henry Ford?
Well, no, he did that. He did that for several different subjects. But I mean, he would go in deep into these things. He would tell you things that were not in the book. This way, he's like, if you know, you need to look at the book for something, you can, but you just leave it open there.
Just in case, the principal walks in, so you got your books open.
Yeah, and it was just so cool. Like, I actually was just like soaking it up like a sponge. I think one of my favorite things I learned about was it China? They have like all of those statues.
There's a lot of
No.
countries.
They found thousands of statues in one spot, and they were of warriors.
We didn't have the same history lesson. I don't know, boo.
It was so cool. So cool. And he would, this emperor or whatever, hired these people to carve out these statues. And
Makes sense.
and then he broke their fingers so that they could never make.
Are you talking about Genghis Khan?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude was metal.
Yeah, and then he went in and like detail about like the culture over there during that time, and how they broke their daughter's feet to fit into these tiny shoes because small feet. They still do it.
I don't know what country it is, but it's called foot binding, and they literally like fold women's feet over.
Yeah.
And like if you see pictures of it, like these women's feet are like, they should be like this, but they're literally like this, like what, if I can point the right way on the camera.
Yeah,
like their toes are here, and then the rest of their foot is here. Like,
yeah,
it's
so they could, they bind their foot and they shape the foot to the shoe so they could fit it into a tiny shoe because that's what was attractive, and that's how you would find a suitor.
But what happens when you take your shoes off?
I don't know, dude. That's weird. I don't know.
It's gotta be
but like,
so painful.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But like, just like the most incredible lessons.
Yeah, we didn't get that.
Oh, it was so awesome. It was so awesome. It was so cool. And he would just share like random stories too. He's like, yeah, one time.
Back in my day.
One time I had a student show up. It was like in the 70s.
Yeah, so back in my day.
Yeah, he had a student show up. And back then they had like the gun racks on the
Oh yeah, my dad's talked about that in the past.
On the trucks. And they accidentally hit a deer. So everybody in the class hopped in the back of this truck, went and got the deer, brought it and skinned it for class.
Yeah, we live in a very different world now.
Absolutely.
A mere 50 years later, and we live in a completely different world.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I was like, what?
Like, you can barely go to the bathroom without getting, like, superintendent permission in high school anymore.
Absolutely. It's stupid. And he's just like, yeah, we just spent the rest of the hour outside skinning the deer. I was like, oh my gosh. He was, like, my favorite. Sure. He was my favorite.
You just talk about that like it's a normal day.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. He was like, I can't believe all this stuff. It's like, he would just go on and on about how things, like, it was just, it was so cool.
Yeah.
I'm never going to forget that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good teachers always leave a lasting impact.
Yeah. Yeah. Yup. Okay, well.
That be doing it for us today.
I think so.
That be doing it.
We'll see you on
next week.
Is it Thanksgiving week?
No.
It's the week before Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving's really late this year.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I forgot that.
Yeah, it's super late this year.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will see you guys next week. As always, thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe, like, all the things.
All the things.
All the things.
All the things. Hope you like that secret topic.
Secret topic.
All right. I hope y'all are doing fantastic. We'll see you later. Bye.